Yeah, but no, I think the way that we're preparing this week, um, it doesn't necessarily mean that obviously getting to our spot is important. And I think just the way stuff could potentially be drawn up, whether it's quicker or a regular pass play, it's more just doing what we do.
I asked you a little bit after the game about Ray returning kicks. For a guy who knows, returning, what have you seen from him? What has he done that's so strong for this team?
Man, I've seen a young dude really just dive deep into his role. Like, he's adjusted well to just doing what he needs to do. His role right now may not be, exactly what he wants to be, but right now he's a returner, and man, he lighting it up. So I see a guy who's just doing what he's supposed to be doing, taking advantage of the opportunities that he has, and shoot, if you want to kick the 2-2, good luck.
Joe said earlier this week that defenses are so complex, they're so advanced now that if you just live and go through your progressions, you should be okay.
Always open.
Not worrying about necessarily.
My bad, say that one.
That's right. Joe talked about the difference between just going through your progressions versus trying to figure out what they're doing post-snap, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Can you take us into a receiver like that, what the difference is between understanding we're just going to go through our progressions and Josh is going to get to 1 or 2 or 3 versus choice routes and option routes and how all that can kind of be impacted?
Yeah. I think that just means be where you're supposed to be when you need to be there.
Okay.
I don't think there's not to make it too complex.
Right.
Plays aren't stalled a certain way and they're taught a certain way and you run them how they're taught. So I think it's honestly pretty that simple.
Do you think it also, Khalil, since you've come in this league, especially, but really going years, there's no more one guy can play X, one guy can play slot. It seems like everybody's so much more versatile. Does that help the offense be able to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the ability to move guys around anytime you can do that, it goes in your favor. So
You guys have had games where you've had major comebacks, really emotional type things, and had to flip the script and turn the page to another game. I know you guys always say it's one game at a time, 1 week at a time, but how do you guys reset and make it so you're fully focused for what's upcoming the next week?
yeah, I think it's pretty important because you can't think about what you did a few days ago. There's a game that needs to be played this next Sunday, and regardless of what we do, you got to flip the script fast and move on to the next. It's kind of what we do, right? Every week you got to play a football game, so there's no holding on to the past and what we did and how we were able to come back. We have 24-hour rule. Obviously, you celebrate it after the game, but after that, it's on to the next.
With that being said, though, having won 3 games in the fashions, where do you think this team's confidence is at this point in the season?
I think, man, we're vibing. I think the vibe's chill. Everybody is just focused on the very next play, like every game. I think it's. I know Josh said, "Don't blink." We don't blink. It's just executing what needs to be done. You can't get all the points to make a comeback in one drive. It's just handling that very next play. And I think when you have a team full of guys who really buy into that and believe that we can win as long as there's time on the clock, it's something special.
You got a chance to clinch a playoff spot this weekend. I know you've done that obviously a number of times before, and it's step one on what all the goals are. But what is the meaning to have that opportunity this weekend?
I didn't even know that. It's great. I think obviously that's the goal, right? Get into the dance and give yourself a chance at the the big one. So obviously it means a lot to us. But for us, we want to win every single game, and whatever that comes with, it comes with. But again, I think I go back to just us trying not to make it bigger than what it is. This game is the most important one because it's the next one.